my dad were waiting in the line at a theme park when a teenager aggressively pushed past us and skipped to the front. I turned to my dad, but he was just humming like he didn't care. "Dad, aren't you gonna do something?" The teenager heard me and instantly turned around and got in my dad's face. "Yeah, aren't you gonna do something, old man?" But my dad kept humming and simply replied, "The world will do more to you than I ever could, young man." The teenager scoffed. "That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard." He turned around and we all got on the ride. I asked Dad why he didn't do something, and he smiled. The world has a way of teaching people. The teenager again heard and laughed, "Stupid old man," under his breath. But then during the ride, the teenager threw his arms up and his phone slipped from his pocket and flew through the air. It landed on my dad's lap and I just stared at it. "Are you going to give it back?" Dad slipped it into his pocket and smirked. "We'll see." We got off the ride, and when the teenager realized his phone was missing, he instantly went pale. He screamed at the ride attendant that the ride needs to be shut down to find his phone. She said she couldn't do that, but he grabbed her radio and called her supervisor. I looked over and my dad was laughing. The teenager sobbed, looking around the ride for his phone and calling the employees incompetent for losing it. I asked my dad if he should just give the phone back, but he smiled. "Not yet. The kid needs to learn." 10 staff members were now helping him look. He yelled at the park manager that he was going to sue for negligence. The entire park had stopped because of his meltdown, but then my dad took a step forward. He tapped the teenager's shoulder and suggested he check his pockets. The teenager screamed, "I already checked them," and slapped his pockets to show his phone wasn't there. But then he suddenly felt something. He reached in his pocket and pulled out his phone, the one he'd been looking for. My dad smirked, and I instantly realized my dad had quietly snuck the phone back into the teenager's pocket without him realizing. The park manager asked the teenager, "So, the phone was in your pocket the whole time?" And he went red with embarrassment while the whole park stared. He screamed, "But how is that possible?" My dad smiled at him. "I told you the world will teach you more than I ever could. Next time, don't be such an asshole." He walked away, and the teenager stood there shaking, because in his eyes, his phone was in his pocket the whole time. The world had actually just taught him a lesson.